So, where to begin? If you're looking for a channel with sidebars, I am it. This is like chaos to the nth degree. Not mad about it. I have heard it is incredibly steamy. We're staying level, we're lateral. Instantly I was like, no. And then there's other mornings where I just want to curl up and cry. What else did I do? Hi everybody, it's Audrey and welcome back to Chapter Ink and Verse and welcome to a mid-year Q2 review. I actually prepared a little bit, took some notes. I skimmed my Q1 review just to see what I talked about so I could follow up on a couple of things, and we're just going to talk about it. Keep it a little bit loose, but talk about what's going on. It is mid-July-ish, second week of July. I don't even know when it is. I am sorry to report that I get knocked down and I get up again of Q1 has continued to be a theme in Q2. I am not where I want it to be in a lot of different places. It's basically an extension. I'm at least consistent. I'll give you that. I'm at least consistent. So I have not had a massive turnaround. I am treading water in some areas. I'm doing well in others. It's just, I'm lifing. If you guys have been following my channel as of late, then you will know there's been a little bit of life going on here and just doing my best to muddle through it. So where to begin? Let's talk about books. Let's start with books since we are here mostly to talk about books. I have had a slower quarter of reading. I read 18 books. I did not go back and see how many I read in the first part of the year. I will put it up on the screen so you can see where I'm at for a year-to-date total. I'm not overly concerned with how many books I'm going to read this year. I do have a Goodreads goal. I am definitely behind on updating my Goodreads. So anyway, it's totally fine. But I think I'm around like, I don't know, I'm going to 60 something books, maybe. I don't know. I'll put it here. We'll see how wrong I am. And partially I have slowed down because I've really been trying to focus on my writing. Reading and writing is going to get intertwined here. But of the 18 books I have read in April, May, and June, 13 of them were 2024 books. I talked about this a lot in part one or Q1. In Q1, I read 14 2024 books. So you can see where my attention has been drawn to in my mood reading. So reading has slowed down, but I've been reading new stuff, which is exciting because there's so many new books coming out. If you guys are a fan of my new release videos, you will know I get super excited about new books that are coming out. I've had the great fortune of getting my hands on a lot of them, either through ARCs or like Peter Swanson was a Book of the Month book. So I was able to read some stuff early, Libro FM. I'm just gobbling up what's new. I'm in a what's new kind of a mode. I also feel like I'm going to start coughing. Okay. New releases, very excited about it. One of the things I did want to commit to this year was to read, review, post about new books as they were coming out, before they were coming out, promote the authors that I love. So I feel like I have done a good job at that. Could always do better, but overall, I'm very pleased with how that's going. The only problem is there's so many books and there's not enough time, and we all know how that goes. I am also very excited to report that I restarted one book, my Patricia Cornwell reread. I can't explain why, mood reader, but I was very much looking for something familiar, but I wasn't really in the mood for a reread, yet I'm still at the point where I'm rereading her books, but I read it so long ago. It was familiar, but I didn't remember every plot point, which made it fun, and I really loved it. So I read Trace, which of course is, I'll just pop a little picture of it up over here. I want to say that's book 13, and I'm fairly certain the next book, Predator, which would be book 14, if I got Trace right as number 13, is the last book I have read. And then somewhere I just continued to purchase but stopped reading her books. So it's going to become all fresh and new. Or maybe I read Book of the Dead. I definitely read Predator. I don't remember if I read Book of the Dead. Anyway, we're all going to find out together. But I am planning to weave in her books in between what I'm doing. And it just was so fun. And it was a really good, again, I don't know if anyone is planning to start that series from the beginning. The only issue with jumping in partway is like the personal relationship side of it gets revealed in different ways, so I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But this I felt was an important book in the series, just because it leaves we meet our characters in like a certain place in their careers. I don't know how to talk about it. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. I had a fantastic time with it, and I'm excited to get into the next one. So anyway, sidebar, we're gonna be all over the place today, but really enjoyed that. I read the new Riley Sager book, which I loved. I just finished the new May Cobb book, which I loved. I read the Peter Swanson book, which I loved. And it's just been pretty good on the reading front. And the only thing is it's just been slower. And partially when I do watch TV, I'm watching a lot of baseball because the Mets are back. We're resurging. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings about the All-Star game. Snub, 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 snub. It can still change between now and then because time. But Lindor and Nimmo deserve to be there. I'm just saying, any of my Mets fans out there, you let me know. But it has been a lot of baseball. And at the end of the day, sometimes I just don't have the brain power to read. Or I read and about 3 pages into it, I want to go to sleep. So reading is slowed down, but I'm not putting pressure on any of it. The only thing is I miss it. I just miss the routine of being in a book, but it's just slower reading, which is totally fine. So again, quality over quantity, and that's where I'm at with that. But very much enjoying the new releases. So I do feel that Instagram is going okay. I really could be doing better. And part of it is still me overthinking things, and not in the sense of, like, when I talk about being a perfectionist, it's not that I think what I'm putting out, I'm like, this is perfect content, but I am super hypercritical about what I do, and I can get in my own head about stuff and I can overthink stuff, which is why I was thinking about this the other day. I posted like nothing from Thriller Fest, and I have videos and photos and so much stuff, and I never did anything with it. And now it feels way too late to do anything with it. And I had all these visions of things I was gonna do. And I think I even talked about it if you watched my Thriller Fest recap video. I brought my camera with me, which I wound up not using, which is fine. I wanted to be in the moment rather than consume myself with vlogging, because for me, it's like so much brain power and so much thought into it. I'm not like a casual out and about town kind of a vlogger. And it was just more than I could manage in the moment. So I did do some stuff with my phone when I was in different panels and things like that. And I just never did anything with it. And I hate myself for that. So, and I know I shouldn't hate myself, but you know what I mean. It's fine. It's fine. But I want to do better and in the moment, and I need to do better with planning ahead, because again, I'm still behind the 8 ball and I'm still rushing, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just like, I think I graded myself a 3-star review in the first quarter. I think I'm like maybe a 3.5-star review now. Maybe? I don't know. So I do want to be better with that. And it's more like, I just love it. And here's my other hitch. So I have stayed consistent with the 1 video a week on YouTube. This most recent week, it did show up on a Friday, but there was a lot of life that happened and I wasn't home and things were out of my control. But excuses, but just facts. So it's facts, it's not excuses. But I want to get ahead of stuff. So what I'm trying to do, this is like chaos to the nth degree. I need to finish my edit. I want to, I need to limit distractions. YouTube, filming, editing, fiddling is a massive distraction for me. Instagram, content creation, all of that is a massive distraction for me. And I am definitely one of those people where, like, rather than eat 1 cookie, because then I'm gonna wanna eat 6 cookies, I need to eat 0 cookies sometimes when I'm feeling vulnerable. When I'm feeling vulnerable about Instagram and I know I'm gonna go on a deep scroll, I can't even open it. Like I know myself to know that when I am looking for an excuse or when I'm looking for a distraction, I will go deep down the rabbit hole and nothing good comes of it. And then all of a sudden there's like an hour or so is gone from my life, or a sleeve of cookies, and it needs to just not happen that way. So I still just need to figure stuff out, and that's life, right? That's life. But still trying to create because I still want to do it. There's so many books that I want to scream about. My book reviews here are definitely a little bit delayed. They're coming. The book is the most important thing. The book is the most important thing to me right now. So that's where I need to focus. I should have known better. it's taking longer than I thought. And part of it is focus, part of it is just the nature of time. And what I had talked about in the first quarter video is I was at the point in the book where all the stuff that I was saving for later, all of the fine-tuned details I needed to work out, research on geography, research on just questions I had, all of that was pinned for later, and we're in later. So it's not that I am wasting time intentionally, like going down some deep dark rabbit hole to find some fact, you know, that I know is going to be pointless, but I just want to get lost in research. It's just things take time. So I do feel like I am researching wisely, but I will be writing, hit something where it says like, I don't know, like, when does the sun rise in September? Like that kind of a thing, because I'm trying to get a time right. So I need to stop what I'm doing. I'm going online, I'm looking for it. And I've been pretty good at gatekeeping myself to not then open up other tabs. Every once in a while I do a little bit of a dip and then I come back, but it's just been slower. It's good. It's still, I haven't looked at word count yet because I am, Scrivener is a thing where I'm saving other things. Anyway, it doesn't even matter. I know it's too long. Like I know in my heart it's too long. So I know that there's more work to be done than I thought there was going to be, but it will get there. Good news is I wound up naming that one character who still didn't have a name last time we spoke. I got her a name. I like it. I'm happy about it. I still have not changed the name of the other person whose name sounds too much like somebody else's name and she needs a new name. I haven't found something that just hits right with me yet. And that is, I mean, it's just going to be what it is. I'll fix it eventually. But every time I try and dabble, nothing works. And then there's something else that I'm trying to work out with a name that I have not been able to figure out. And I keep, like when it comes up in the book, I'm like, maybe I'll figure it out this time. And I just feel like it's going to be one of those things that's going to come to me in the shower. So there's a couple of those little things that haven't happened, but I feel good about the story. I'll have a better sense when I'm at the end. There's a part of me that thinks I'm doing too much. There's a part of me that thinks I need to cut a bunch in the beginning. And every once in a while I have a day where I'm like, that's not too bad. That's not that bad. Like, go you. It's not as much of a mess. And then there's other mornings where I just want to curl up and cry. But, you know, writing life, my friends. It's happening. It's going. I'm still working on it. And I have some personal deadlines to me. I'll keep you posted. Nothing to report yet other than I am still doing it. And I saw a post from Jamie Lee Hendricks today, and it was like when you think about quitting, remember why you started. She, of course, followed it up with a picture of all of her books, which is great. And I have her new book, which I still need to read. But I'm trying to, remember why you started. Stick to it. It's what I want to do. It's my happy place. The hard days are the hard days. But anyway, I want to be in that writing life. So that is what I'm doing. What else? Research. I talked about that. My reading goals in terms of 12 and 24 and Reading to Zero and Agatha Christie, full transparency, have failed at all three of them. I am not prioritizing them. I'm not even thinking about them. I am just like abandoned ship on them. Not even on purpose. I just make plans and then it's like I self-sabotage when I try and make a plan. Here we are. I read one Peter Swanson book. He's on my Read to Zero. I read his new one. So I still only have, I have 2 of his books left to read. I want to read them. I'm only not reading them because I'm reading other stuff. So I'm not choosing to ignore. They're just not on my list. And or just not in my purview. I was doing a little bit of decluttering. I did pull some books. You guys, if you have been here for a long time, / if you were here for the Q1 video, I officially unhauled Stags on Sunday. I donated it to a free little library. When I was looking it up for the last video I did, I saw that it was now the first book in like a 5-book series, which instantly I was like, no. I can't even read my Patricia Cornwell series. And I keep going down here because the books are down here. And I was just like, no. No. No disrespect to M.A. Bennett. No disrespect to that book. I feel like it had been haunting me for a long time. it is now going to make somebody else really, really happy. So I have let that go. I have let go of that dream. And if I ever want to read it again, I can always get it again. It's perfectly fine. But I was doing some mini unhauling, and I was trying to reshuffle some things to put some books again in my eyesight that I want to see. I got a bunch of books from Duelerfest, which I was excited about. And I had sort of stumbled across a pile of books that I had put to the side, which were my 12 and 24. And I was like, oh, they're sitting over under this table. No wonder I'm not reading any of them. So we'll see. If I get to some of them, great. If I don't, I don't. I am disappointed in myself for not doing better with the Agatha Christie challenge, because I was very excited about that. And of course, you can still read them anytime you want to. I did this in the last video too. I kept saying just and so. That's where we are. And the Read to Zero also. I have the new Lisa Jewell is coming. I have not read another one of her books since last we spoke. I'm trying to think who else is on my Read to Zero. I don't even know off the top of my head. Anyway, those goals are not my focus. It's mood reading and writing the book. That's the focus. We'll see where I get to. Maybe I will feel inspired in a little bit. Part of me is kind of inspired now to make lists of those books and kind of hang the list up. So when I am in the position to pick a new book, glance at those just to see if something strikes my fancy. I don't know. We'll see. What else? Let's talk about bingo. I did wind up doing the warm-up bingo, in that I created the board and sent it out into the universe. And in that time frame, things just continued to be absolutely insane. And I never even brought it back up again in my own life. So I have no idea how I did on that, but I did read some books. So that happened, but I did do summertime bingo. We're in it. I've read 3 books so far that qualify, because it was like a mid-June start. How have I only read 3 books? That feels wrong, but I think that's right. And I'm excited for it. So I need to look at the board, use it as inspiration. I had a great time making it. That was another fantastic procrastination tool. I also, if you watched that video, know that I forgot when the first day of summer was, so that wound up being a last-minute crunch. And again, last minute Lucy here is just not doing a good job of planning ahead. I had an entire conversation at work today, telling other people, because of what my role in their job is like, y'all need to plan ahead. We can't all be last minute. Everything can't be an emergency. Everything can't be a fire drill. And then in real life, totally last minute, which I never used to be this way. I don't know what happened to me. Somewhere along the way, I went off the rails. But bingo is out in the universe. It's never too late to join. There's a video here on YouTube if you haven't seen it yet. It is on my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. And you can download the boards, you can download everything and play along, and it's all in great fun, and maybe it'll inspire some of your summertime reading. So that actually happened. Very excited about that. What else did I do? Something else that was totally not a win, which I also referenced in a different video. I'm not totally sure how I injured my right foot. I have not been walking hardly at all. Somewhere on a journey of walking, I think I rolled my foot. I'm blaming the sneakers now. I feel like my right foot, which don't worry, I'm not going to show you my foot. I feel like the arch or my foot has changed in some way. And I think it was slipping around in the sneaker. And I think I kind of you walk and you stumble and rolled it. Then kept walking on it. And the next day it felt like a little bit tight almost, but I kept walking on it. And then maybe the day after that, I stood up and couldn't really walk on it. And that didn't seem like a whole lot of fun. And then it continued to get worse from there. And it was weeks of discomfort. Not able to put weight on it lasted like a day. It never swelled up. It never did anything like that. I rolled my right foot running years ago. It's an aggressive car horn. Long story short, I rolled my right foot running on a treadmill years ago, kept running like an idiot. And then I went to work that day. This is if you're looking for a channel with sidebars, I am it. And I remember it was summertime because I had a dress on And I remember somebody at work was like, what happened to your ankle? And I was like, what are you talking about? And this was like back in the day when I would like rock a big heel. And I basically had the world's biggest cankle. And I was like, oh, I rolled my foot this morning when I was running. And continued to walk around in high-heeled shoes and everything else. So I do think maybe somewhere along the way, I never went to a doctor, which is fine. I maybe made my right ankle vulnerable to things. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. Anyway, not able to walk for a while. Finally able to walk again. Put on that new pair of sneakers and I was like, nope, hard pass. I think it's the sneakers. And now we are in a hazy, hot, and humid heat wave. So been very physically sidelined, which is making me a little bit nuts. So not listening to audiobooks. There is a connection to that. And also feeling it's funny, at first I was really missing it. I feel like office space, like missing a lot of work lately. I wouldn't say I've been missing it. So at first I feel like I was missing the ability to get outside. Now the weather is completely horrible, so I don't miss it. And I need to just find some indoor activities to keep me busy physically in the meantime. So anyway, for my physical and mental health, I know I need to be doing some exercise and I'm just not. We'll get back to it. We will get back to it. So that was a big loss. A win, although let's stay on the loss thing. I am definitely out of a lot of my habits. I have not been doing my gratitude journal at all. I have been doing my 5-year journal, which I'm excited about because I have reached the point. I started that July 2023. So I have reached the point now where I can read last year's entries, which is both exciting / horrifying to see how little has changed. And then weirdly enough, I don't know if it was like yesterday or 2 days ago, I finished The Hollywood Assistant by May Cobb, and I'm trying to make notes of like what books I'm reading. Just it changes by the day what I write. And the entry from last year for the same day was I had just received her book, A Likeable Woman, last year and just started it. So like I started May Cobb that day last year, and this year I finished her new book, and I was like, this is so fun. So like May Cobb is like all over my 5-year journal, but it's been fun. It's just been a few days, but like seeing what I wrote last year, and I'm very much enjoying that. I need to get back on the gratitude journal journey. I do miss it. I have just been like getting up and writing first thing, headspace, and then writing. And I don't want to let myself get distracted with another writing activity, with another writing activity. And then it's like, get dressed, go to work, and then morning gratitude is out the door. So I need to figure out how to weave that back into my routine because I do miss that and I do want to get back to it. And then just some other like routine habits. Some days I'm on point, some days I'm not. I'm not striving for 100% perfection, but I talked about this in the last video, quarterly checkup also. I know in my head and in my heart what things I'm doing well, what things I need to fix, what things I need to work on. And some days I'm really good and some days I just am not. And I know that there's changes I need to make and I know what some of them are and I'm just not doing the work. So need to get back to the work. But back into like the positive category, I have been consistent with my Sisters in Crime write-ins. Still loving them, love my group. I got to meet some of the ladies at Thriller Fest, which again, if you guys watched that Thriller Fest video, I already talked about all of this. Made some fun friends at Thriller Fest this year, met so many incredible people, but that write-in is such a fantastic touch base. I was out of town unexpectedly and I missed, I think 4 of them. And when I came home and was able to like start up again, I was like, oh, my people. I missed my people so much. And it's just so good. So I have not looked into the BBC Maestro class that I talked about. And again, just how I'm spending my time and the limited like screen time that I'm giving myself is few and far between. Watching some baseball, but I want to break it up and watch some of those classes as well. I don't know. I'll let you guys know when I get to it and let you know what I think of it. I don't know if anybody's taken it before, but let me know if you have. But my TV watching, like I said, has been pretty limited. So a lot of baseball. I did finally watch Murder is Easy, which is the BBC miniseries. I think it's 2 episodes. It's an Agatha Christie remake. So Why Didn't They Ask Evans, which is from a couple years ago, was fantastic. And then they made Murder is Easy, which was entertaining. The bar is like here. Like, Why Didn't They Ask Evans was just so fantastically done. Murder is Easy was like beautifully shot, very well acted. There was a little bit of like over dramatization with a couple of the like death scenes, I think. And if anybody watched The Mirror Cracked with Angela Lansbury and Elizabeth Taylor from, I don't know, I think it was like from the 80s. Rock Hudson is in it. And there's this sequence where like Elizabeth Taylor is like seeing somebody at a party, and she has like these big eyes, and there's like this music in the background, and it's just like so over the top. And it's not supposed to be funny, but I find it extremely funny. So I feel like there were like some death scenes that felt like that over the topness that wasn't necessary. Anyway, I'm glad I watched it. And it was just fun. I haven't had like a show to get into in a while. I am still... Did I talk about The Affair last time we did this? I am still on season 1. I feel like I've been watching this show for months, and not because the show's not good. It's fantastic. Each episode is, I think, almost like an hour long, and I'm all in. I don't even know if I'm on episode 8. I feel like I've watched hours and hours of this show, and I don't know why I'm not into season 2 yet. I don't even know what episode I'm on. It's so good. I will do anything for Joshua Jackson, you guys know. I am so curious about what the mystery is. I have more to watch, so I'm still watching that. I've watched a couple movies here and there, but a lot of it is just like older stuff. I rewatched Gone Baby Gone because Dennis Lehane was at Thriller Fest, and I was having like an itch for something of his, and for some reason, I thought I remembered... like there was a specific scene in Gone Baby Gone, which I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's like square in the middle of the movie. A specific scene that I remembered, but I felt like there was a detail of it I couldn't remember, and then I became obsessed and had to watch it. Also, I totally didn't remember a part of the ending. Like, I totally remembered it differently in my head, I should say. And now I'm also curious how faithful the movie is to the book. I have not read any of his books. Don't come for me. And I don't know. I felt the need to watch it, and I did. And it was so, I mean, I will do anything Boston adjacent. You guys know Ben Affleck directed it eons ago when he directed it. And I lived in the city at the time. The New York Times used to do these Times Talks, and you like bought a ticket and go see people like talk about stuff. Times Talks. And he was there for the movie. I'm a huge Ben Affleck fan. Huge Ben Affleck fan. So anyway, I had a great time with that. Enjoyed it, watched it. I am so jazzed. Talk about like fear of obsession. I am so jazzed to get into Presumed Innocent on Apple TV Plus with Jake Gyllenhaal. I have heard it is incredibly steamy, which, speaking of Joshua Jackson, when I watched the remake of Fatal Attraction, which was, I want to say it's on Paramount, an incredible multi-part series, so much steamier than I expected, as is The Affair, which the name in and of itself, it's about this married people having an affair. I should have known it was going to be steamy, but it really is way more than I thought it was going to be. Not mad about it. But I'm very excited to watch Presumed Innocent. I'm hearing great things about it. But then I got inspired. I really want to reread the book. I read it forever ago. I can remember the mass market paperback that I had. I have since unhauled it, which means, of course, I have since just repurchased it. And I really want to read it, then watch the show, and then rewatch the Harrison Ford movie. And I'm curious, I have no idea how close the show is to the book or to the movie or any of it, but I feel this need to like make a whole production out of all of it. And like the one cookie, I don't want to start Presumed Innocent because I know I'm just going to want to binge it. I think there's maybe 3 or 4 episodes out right now. We'll see. I also saw they started filming, or they started doing table reads for the morning show. Unrelated-ish. Also on Apple. There you go. And that's kind of it. When I do turn on the TV as a background noise, it's always something I've seen before, Murder, She Wrote. And I don't think I've really watched anything else new. I'm kind of drab when it comes to television stuff. My DVR is like filled to the hilt, and I just don't watch it. So anyway, stay tuned for more thoughts on The Affair 10 years later. No spoilers, please. I don't know the mystery of season 1. Anyway, I need to get back to it. Okay. Good news is the Mets played a day game today, so I have my night to myself where I should be writing and reading, but we'll see what happens. The other problem with the affairs, because they're an hour long, it's hard to just, like a Friends episode, you can watch like 22 minutes and call it a day. But, or Murder, She Wrote, because I know how they end. I can dip in and out and I'm fine. All right, I think that is everything on my list. I talked a little bit about book unhauling. I'm still doing my slow unhaul, still doing a slow declutter. It feels good to have open spaces. I just need to keep them open. I have been donating more than I have been selling lately. I did put a pin in my Pango shop. I wound up donating a lot of books to that library sale a while ago. And then just because of time, like I was gone for Thriller Fest and all these other things, I do not want people to buy books and then I'm not able to ship it to them in a timely manner. So I have put that kind of on hold for now and have just been donating some books, but I'm kind of doing like a couple here, a couple there. So you're not missing anything big. I don't know. If I reopen it, I'll let you guys know. I probably will. I probably will. I have been doing a little bit of damage shopping at Pango because I do have some Pango bucks. It's become my first stop when I'm trying to buy a book now. And it has treated me fairly well. It has treated me fairly well. So other than that, I think that's kind of what's going on. So again, I still just kind of feel like I'm like a 3.5 star going at it, trying my best. And like I said, some days are better than others. It's just life. I know we're all in it together. And I would like to be in a better place by the end of our Q3 review. And again, I know some of the changes I need to do. I know the tools I need to implement, starting with just like writing stuff down. Does anybody else just not remember stuff if you don't write it down? I have reached the point where I walk into the kitchen and I like, not only do I not know why I'm there, I'm like, how did I even get here? It's not that far of a walk. I think my brain is so overcluttered with stuff and I don't know. I just don't know. So I wrote down my words again. Word number 1 is to live. Word number 2 is to be consistent. So word to live by, theme of the year. I have been consistent in some ways. I kind of feel like I've lived, but then there's other times I haven't. I don't know. I'm crawling into the introvert cave and I don't know. I'm in like summer hibernation mode now. So we'll see where it takes me. We'll see where I land. We'll see what happens. But all in all, I'm okay. I feel like we're staying level. We're staying level. We're lateral. One day, it's like one step forward, one step back, one day up, one day down. I'm kind of like the Mets. I'm like 500. Some days I'm a game up, some days I'm 2 games back. We'll see what happens. And yeah, I'm just going to keep pushing forward. So that is where I am. I'm not freaking out about anything. Now I'm like, what books? Aren't I supposed to talk about like what books are coming out at the end of the year that I'm excited about? There's so many books coming out. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Yikes, that's terrible. I mean, I can think of like a bunch of books that are coming out. I'm really excited for the new Laurie Elizabeth Flynn, which I put up here so that I will read it. I got The Paris Widow by Kimberly Bell, which I'm excited about. And yeah, there's just so much happening. So anyway, I will keep you guys posted. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for being patient when I'm not around. And I really just appreciate the comments and the chatter and the conversation. You guys are fantastic. This is such a great group of people and I'm so lucky and grateful to have you guys in my world. And I just really appreciate the kindness and the gentleness that everybody has and people chatting with each other in the comments, people making suggestions to each other in the comments. And it's just fun. It's just really, really fun. And somebody made a comment on one of my recent videos about like how excited I was talking about books, and nothing excites me more. We have this small group of people that we call book club at work where we read thrillers, and there's like an occasional meeting where it just winds up being us on the call and we'll just chitter chat about books and we make book recommendations to each other and just talk about what we're reading. And it's like the best part of my day is talking about books. So I love talking to you guys online. I love talking here. So thank you for everything. And hopefully everyone had a great end to their second quarter. Hopefully everyone's having a fantastic summer. It is post 4th of July, so I hope everyone had a great holiday and is doing great. And I will see you guys in the next video. So until then, stay cool, have fun, and I'll see you guys when I see you. Bye everybody.